From Mountain Lion Stadium on the campus of the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs, we bid you welcome to the finals of the 2019 RMAC Women's Soccer Championship. Today, all that's on the line, one of the 21 automatic bids to the NCAA tournament for the team that does not automatically advance. They're looking to be one of the 35 squads that gets the at-large bid, and also what's on the line is the possibility of a home match for both of these squads in the NCAAs. Hello again, everyone. This is Doug Klein, thrilled to be bringing you all the action across the RMAC network and the platforms that they serve. This is going to be an exciting game. This is a rematch of the 2018 tournament finals, and this time the only change, UCCS comes in as the number 1 seed, the number 2 seed, the Colorado School of Mines. Behind me on the field, the RMAC is getting ready to present the major awards for the regular season. All of the award winners either are a mountain lion or an ore digger, so they're going to be doing those pre-game ceremonies very shortly. But the storyline here at Mountain Lion Stadium is UCCS, number 1 in the nation, looking to go 20-0. And now we're ready to go to center field, where Commissioner Chris Graham is ready to start presenting the awards. So fans, what you are seeing on the field, Commissioner Chris Graham ready to present the major awards to the Mountain Lions and Ore Diggers ahead of this finals match. And you can see quite a few dignitaries here today, a lot of press on hand, because in Colorado Springs it is a major story, these Mountain Lions. And they're now just awarding the Summit Award winner. And that award goes to the highest grade point average player with at least 2 years of college under their belts who is in the finals. And that award goes to Ella Fisher, midfielder of the UCCS Mountain Lions. And she is now accepting her award along with Commissioner Chris Graham. And you can see the Mountain Lions are going to be wearing home white today and making their way through a sea of red. And that is the Colorado Pride Soccer Club representatives from some of the youth organization. And now the Defensive Player of the Year award being presented to Giselle Sawagid of the Colorado School of Mines, the senior. And she will be a big story, I'm sure, in today's match. She plays a really interesting style out of the back. And now we are to the goalkeeper of the year in the RMAC regular season, also from Colorado School of Mines, and that's Shannon Mooney. Mooney, second leading all time for the storied history of Colorado School of Mines, with a goals against average, a scant goals against average for her career of just .42. And now we go back to a UCCS award, and it's Freshman of the Year, number 22, Tanner Sanders. Sanders has the distinction of being the all-time leading scorer ever for a freshman in this UCCS squad. UCCS has only been playing D2 soccer since 2008, and Sanders passed teammate Tara Patterson, who earned the Freshman of the Year award just 2 years ago, and she's now accepting her award from Commissioner Chris Graham. And now the RMAC Player of the Year from the UCCS Mountain Lions, number 18, junior Sinead Hopcroft. Hopcroft is a transfer student who had to be redshirted last year because of an injury as soon as she came onto campus. She came from junior college Daytona State, and now completing her first year on the field as a Mountain Lion, and as a junior, the all-time leader among the junior class. And now the Coach of the Year for the RMAC, leading her squad to a 19-0 record and the #1 ranking in the nation, UCCS coach Shawn Hudson. This is her 3rd season. She has already won 52 matches, the fastest coach ever in UCCS's short history to 50 wins. There's only been 2 of them, but Coach Hudson got there in just under 3 seasons, and her predecessor, Nicole Ridenour, was able to accomplish that task in 6. But of course, Ridenour had to start a program from scratch in the first couple of years. And those are your major award winners from the RMAC as we count down the clock to kickoff. And now we are going to have the announcement of the starting lineups. And we will bring that along with the PA announcer, Mickey Meehan, here at UCCS. And once again, we have all the red-clad youth players from the youth organization here in Colorado Springs, the Colorado Pride, as we get ready for the lineup. So we will have the introductions of the players, then the national anthem, and then finally this championship match for 2019 will be underway. For those of you joining us from Texas and the Lone Star Conference, looking to see what this juggernaut called the UCCS Mountain Lions are, as they are undefeated and #1 in the nation, we welcome you. Also, it is important for a number of squads in the Lone Star Conference as to how the NCAA bids are going to come out during the selection show. That selection show coming up Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Mountain Time. And we also know we have a lot of viewers tuning in from Utah because both Dixie State and Westminster out of the RMAC are right on the cusp of getting one of the coveted 6 spots into the NCAA regionals, which begin next week. That'll be Friday, and the host schools will be the #1 and 2 seeds. Not surprisingly, right now the Mountain Lions are the #1 seed in the South Central region. Colorado School of Mines is the #3 seed. And now here come the player introductions. Shannon Mooney, not surprisingly, will be starting in goal. So now introducing goalkeeper 00, Shannon Mooney, one of today's starters. On the back line, senior Giselle Sawaged. Another redshirt senior, and there's quite a few redshirt players for this Mines squad, as Lindsay Tornabin is now being introduced. Emmy Higgins, redshirt, or I'm sorry, a pure freshman out of Hawaii. Had a chance to talk to her mom earlier today. Now Zoe Sano, #8, also a starter coming out. Redshirt junior Kaylee Kennedy wearing #9 coming onto the field now. Kennedy will be a midfielder today. Emma Peterson, sophomore, gets the start today for Colorado School of Mines. And now on the back line, freshman phenom #21, Jordan Barnhart. Next up will be midfielder #24, Cheney Bregman. You're going to see her get a lot of touches today. And then we go back to the back line. Typically on the right outside back position, 32, Mickey Hostetler taking the field. And finally, number 33, she is the co-SIDA representative from Mines in the All-America District team, on the ballot as an All-America, Nicole LaTourette. And now a bit of quiet before the stands erupt as the #1 team in the nation is ready to get introduced before a nearly full crowd here today at Mountain Lions Stadium. And here come the Mountain Lions. Quite a contrasting goal today. Freshman Molly Swift out of Papillion, Nebraska, in net for the Mountain Lions. Backline, #5, Elisa Muir, also part of the co-SIDA All-America District team. She'll be on the All-America ballot. And we had Jade Kinsey, number 2, was introduced as I was talking about Muir. Junior Allie Samuels just introduced on the back line. Savannah Mills, number 7, will be at the outside flank. Typically she plays the right outside flank. Jaden Davis, freshman, second team all RMAC defender, gets the start today. Number 9, Kelsey Lanham at midfield gets the start. First team all defender for the RMAC, number 16, Caitlin Esterly. She's a red shirt junior, has decided to graduate. She's on track graduating. And Ella Fisher, the Summit League winner, just introduced. And Sinead Hopcroft was previously introduced, number 18. And now the freshman of the year, number 22, Tanner Sanders. And those are your starting lineups as we get ready to start this RMAC championship match. And we will step aside for the national anthem. And that completes all of the pomp and circumstance. And now we get to the point that we're all here for, why we play this game. UCCS comes in as the number 1 seed in the tournament. Colorado School of Mines, number 2. UCCS comes in as the number 1 team in the nation. Colorado School of Mines, 16. UCCS comes into this as the number 1 team in the South Central region. Colorado School of Mines, number 3. They've stayed on seed during this tournament, so it's 1 against 2. This is a rematch. Last year's game was up in Golden, Colorado. School of Mines got out to a quick lead in the 2nd minute and then went on to win 3-0. That was November 4th, 2018. And for this high-powered UCCS squad, that was the last time they were shut out. These goalkeepers, UCCS, 11 shutouts on the season. School of Mines, 13 shutouts on the season. The reality here of this match, if you're a fan for either team, we can find plenty of statistics on paper to say your squad has the edge, but the reality is they are evenly matched. This will be the 7th time in the last 2 years that they've played each other. In 2017, UCCS was not even on the radar. They made a late season run to get to the Final Four of the NCAA National Tournament. And on their way to the Final Four, they beat Colorado School of Mines 3 times, once in the regular season in Golden, and then they beat them in the RMAC tournament, and then they beat them again in the NCAA tournament. Last year, a bit of a turnaround. UCCS lost the regular season match to School of Mines right here on this pitch in an overtime thriller, and then UCCS went up to Golden, as we mentioned, in the RMAC finals and dropped a 3-0 score. This year, UCCS went up to Golden in the regular season match and came away with a 2-1 victory in overtime, and that brings us to the 7th match. Colorado School of Mines looking to win their 8th tournament title in the last 9 years. The only time they were upset, as they've held the crown for the better part of the decade, was in 2017 to these Mountain Lions. And the Mountain Lions are the up-and-coming royalty in the RMAC as they look to make it 2 out of 3 seasons to win the RMAC tournament and get the automatic bid. UCCS, obviously, with an undefeated record, won the RMAC regular season championship, the first time they have accomplished that. Freshman Tanner Sanders has placed the ball at midfield. UCCS in white, moving from left to right in this first half. Colorado School of Mines in blue uniforms with the gray paneling. They will be moving from right to left, and this match is underway. The waiting is over. Bit of a challenge at midfield. Caitlin Esterly on the back line for the Mountain Lions pushes it ahead, but right on to feet of Ore Diggers. That's kept in neatly along the touch line. Dropped back and pushed ahead. Now it's a foot race. Esterly looks over her shoulder. Right on the doorstep was Higgins. And that goes out for a Colorado School of Mines throw. Coming up to take the throw, Nicole LaTourette. LaTourette puts it in play. Esterly, with her 6-foot frame, gets her head on it first. Now over along the touchline, that deflects off of Jaden Davis and goes out, and it'll be a throw for the Ore Diggers. Quickly put into play right at the top of the 18. Muir comes over to sweep that away. Ore Diggers try to settle it. That was Brugman. She couldn't settle it to set it up for the good solid shot. So now it's just loose on the UCCS backline. And Esterly right in front of our position with it. Puts it on the ground ahead to Summit winner Ella Fisher. Loses the ball momentarily and gets it right back. She's one-on-one with Brugman. Ball comes back to a trailing Davis, and Davis now moves up the right flank. Davis puts it on to Mills. That's deflected right back into the defensive end. And defense will be a word we use a lot today. Both squads have only allowed 8 goals on the season. Colorado School of Mines with a slightly better goals against average because they've played 20 matches. They had one additional regular season match. They played Western Washington, the number 7 team in the nation, in Golden and defeated them, and that was the extra match that they played. UCCS with 19 matches, only allowing the 8 goals. Coming in for the cross, but that goes out of touch, and it'll be a UCCS throw over on the far side. Center back Allie Samuels to put the ball into play. Ball's in play, and now it's on to Player of the Year, Sinead Hopcrossfoot. She distributes it square to Fisher. Fisher can't. Sends it over the back line, looking for the onrushing Mills. Sawagat is going to get there first, shoulders Mills off of the play, and generates the goal kick. Sawagat, we mentioned, quite a story. Hope you enjoy watching her today. She's fun to watch, very patient on the back line, but also very opportunistic. And once she sees space and opportunity, she then moves through space quickly, much like a forward. So she will be a force to be reckoned with. Off of the goal kick, Ore Diggers get their head on it first, but then Lanham settles it for the Mountain Lions. Ball pops free. Lanham stays with it and then sends it slightly ahead to Muir. Muir looks to go inside, and the run was to the outside, so that creates a turnover, and the Ore Diggers have it back. Contested over along the touchline, and Muir was pulled, so that'll be a direct kick for the Mountain Lions. Muir early in the second half will pass a career milestone, and we'll talk about that at that time. Muir does the step over. Sanders then pushes it ahead for Muir. Set play. Muir then crosses it, and that will not even find side netting as it goes out for the goal kick. Here in Colorado Springs this afternoon, rain in the forecast, but not until a couple of hours after this match. But clouds are rolling in, and pretty much right with the opening whistle, the wind started picking up. Right now it's a crosswind blowing from west to east right in our face. Our position is field level down at the south end of the stadium. So that's where the Ore Diggers are attacking in the first half. We'll have a good look at that. A little tougher to see on the north end from our broadcast position. And we thank UCCS Media Services for bringing you the production across the RMAC Sports Network. Shot in. Molly Swift times her leap perfectly, and she needed to. That was headed toward net, so first shot on goal of the game goes to the Ore Diggers. And one interesting fact, in the previous 6 matches over the last 2 years in the Sean Hudson seasons for the Mountain Lions, even though the Mountain Lions are 4-2 against these Ore Diggers, the Ore Diggers have outshot the Mountain Lions in every match. Jaden Davis looks for the opportunity to try to slide that in. Sawagid breaks that up. Ball loose, and that's just swept away by the Ore Diggers up to Higgins. Higgins challenged by Kinsey. Goes down hard, foul on the Mountain Lions, and so we'll now get a direct kick from inside the center circle from the Ore Diggers. Typically, Jordan Barnhart takes the direct kicks, and she steps up to do the same here. UCCS stepping back, sets the line up about 25 yards away from goal. Ore Diggers choose to go short. Now the kick into the area. Up in the air was Samuel. She got her head on it first, but only popped it up, not clear and not out of danger. Turning his Tornabin and well over the crossbar. So goal kick for Molly Swift. Let's talk a little bit about these goalkeepers today. For Swift, she comes in on the season with over 1,300 minutes played and a .411 goals against average. Meanwhile, Shannon Mooney with over 1,700 minutes played in net, and her goals against average, as we mentioned at the opening of the broadcast, .42. Mills slips that ahead to Hopcroft, who continues pushing it outside to Davis. Hopcroft making the run in. Davis crosses, looking for Hopcroft. Ball is loose on the ground. Collision, and I think they're calling Hopcroft for the illegal charge into Mooney, and so it'll be Colorado School of Mines to put it back in play. Mooney tries to send it out to the right side. Muir intercepts that for the Mountain Lions, keeps it in play, pushes ahead to herself, is able to get there for the cross. Low, deflected. That deflects way high and out of play. And the flag comes out. It was deflected off of an Ore Digger, so we get the first corner kick of the afternoon, and it belongs to UCCS. Tanner Sanders comes over to take it. Dominant left foot. So from this side, puts it into play. Going to go far post. A lot of heads are up in the air. Ball loose. Finally cleared out by the Ore Diggers, and I think that's going to be a UCCS throw. And indeed it is. So UCCS still with possession. Muir goes over to take the throw. We are in the 9th minute. Scoreless here in the RMAC championship game. Strong throw in, chasing it down. No, actually it was Mills who chased it down. but couldn't get a strong enough touch on it, so it goes out, and putting it back in play is Mooney. Now a bit of a breakout for the Ore Diggers, but there's plenty of white jerseys back there. No whistle. Ball loose at midfield. Big challenge by Muir. Ball still free in the center circle. Esterly does a nice job to grab that, drag it back, and turn it back. And then Muir pushes it up the touchline for Mills. Mills gets past the first defender, makes the cut, angles in, tries to draw it back. Mooney out nicely to go ahead and do the kick save. That had goal written on it. The combination was set up. Mooney read it and got the cleats on it as she slid out to clear it. So we remain scoreless in the 10th minute. By this time in last year's final, it was already 2-0 School of Mines. So a tighter match, as you might expect. Sean Hudson in her 3rd season, and the rule of thumb in coaching is it takes about three seasons to get the team you want. Hudson responsible for a 10.5 match turnaround in 2017, which is one of the top turnarounds in NCAA D2 history. It's in the top 10. So her mission the first season was to start filling in some gaps, as she continued to do in season 2. And now this 2019 squad is looking like the Sean Hudson squad that she wants, playing her style, which is an attacking style, going up against the Kevin Fickus coached style of a defensive approach from the Colorado School of Mines. So one of the most powerful attacking teams in the NCAA this season, the top scoring team of all time for UCCS, against a defensive-minded School of Mines squad. So you can see the clouds are building up. We were in the low 60s at the start of the match. We may be at that same point, but with the wind and the shade starting to feel a bit cooler on this mid-November afternoon in Colorado Springs. Sawagid comes out of that mix with it. She's pushed down. No call. Another shoulder charge. Fisher playing hard. Ball loose. Samuels with it. So early going. Officiating style. Let them play. Sanders with it. She just rockets it off of the defender. And that will be a corner kick. No doubt on that one. Hopcroft typically takes them for the Mountain Lions from this side, and she's going down to take the corner. Comes far post right across the face of net. From that side, wind aided, it goes all the way across the pitch and out for an Ore Digger throw. We are now in the 13th minute. Esterly just pops it back toward net. No danger there. Mooney easily able to collect that to try to start the Ore Diggers back. I would characterize this Ore Digger attack similar to how I described Sawagid. Very opportunistic. And now Fisher, a bit too hard of a hit along the touchline. The clock is being allowed to run during this discussion. That's center referee Megan McCain controlling things today. Lets the clock run that entire time. Just a discussion. But Fisher on notice. Barnhart steps up again. Puts it toward the top of the 18. Esterly there first. Heads it out onto the foot of Hopcroft. Hopcroft sends it square to Muir. Muir ahead for Sanders. Sanders slows it down, ready to take the one-on-one, and then distribute it ahead for the overlap to Muir. Muir down the far touchline. Looks for the cross. Drives it low right toward net. Mooney up to that task with no trouble. 14th minute. Still scoreless here in Colorado Springs, Mountain Lions Stadium. A lot of energy on the field and in the stands today. This #1 team in the nation generating a lot of press attention and a lot of fan attention in Colorado Springs. The last few weeks, virtually nowhere can you go without having a discussion about what the Mountain Lions are doing. Obviously, School of Mines in Golden gets a lot of attention, but they get lost in the large market of Denver and all of the sports up there. This is huge news in Colorado Springs. Obviously also home to a couple of D1 schools. United States Air Force Academy. On the women's D1 soccer side, Colorado College, who historically has also had a top D1 men's hockey side. So this is known as Olympic City, USA. The U.S. Olympic Committee headquarters are in Colorado Springs. So amateur sports, a big thing in Colorado Springs, and that's why the locals are giving a lot of love to the Mountain Lions this season. Another fun fact for those of you looking for reasons to think that the edge goes to the Ore Diggers. The Ore Diggers have never lost on this pitch. If you're looking for a counterfact as to why the edge goes to the Mountain Lions have never lost a playoff match, RMAC or NCAA, on this pitch. So that ball goes out just on the goal line side of the flag, so it'll be another corner kick for the Mountain Lions. Sanders goes down to take it. We're in the 17th minute, scoreless in the RMAC championship match. Sanders goes short back to Muir. Muir sets it up for the left, goes far post, and just a bit high. Again, the wind might have helped push that high and wide. So it'll be a goal kick for Mooney. Still 28 minutes to go until halftime, but let us tell you what's coming up at half. Chris Graham, commissioner of the RMAC, scheduled to come over to our broadcast position and share some of his thoughts with us on this year's tournament and some of the things coming up for the RMAC. UCCS, now Jade Kinsey with possession. No pressure, just chooses to send it back to Swift. Swift surveys the field and decides to just give it right back to Kinsey. The freshman pushes it up ahead, headed away by School of Mines, and Muir intercepts that. Muir drops it down to Hopcroft. Hopcroft makes the cut in, looking to draw it back, sends it ahead. Give and go. Muir looks for the acute angle shot, and that goes out for the goal kick. Actually, it went over the touchline, just on the touchline side of the flag, so it's an Ore Digger throw deep in their defensive third. That's going to come to the top of the 18. Lanham gets there first for the Mountain Lions. She's immediately marked, so she has to turn back, and it comes to the back line to Esterly. Esterly makes one move, steps forward, drives it in low, can't connect. That was Barnhart who cleared that out. Right onto the foot of a Mountain Lion. Hopcroft comes up lame. Mentioned she's coming back from ACL surgery. Hopefully it's nothing with the knee. The knee has stayed in good shape all season long. She worked hard last year to get it back to shape. Now we have one of our first subs of the afternoon. Coming into the match, Audrey Shin. Shin immediately comes to the near side and points to her teammates saying, I want the ball, and here's where I want it. This should be a good matchup between Shin and Esterly. Both good vertical leap, both good size. Jaden Davis on the throw for the Mountain Lions, gets it into Lanham. Lanham then sends it over far side for Kinsey. Kinsey stops, back to the center for Lanham. Through the circle, keeps it on the ground. Give and go, collision, no call. Mills picks up the loose ball, taken off stride briefly but stays with it. Now Mills tries to make the turn to set up the cross. She does so, but that is deflected out by Turnabin. And another UCCS corner kick coming up. Defense first for the Ore Diggers. You can see space closes quickly in this match. So also at halftime, in addition to Chris Graham, as we get ready to start the second half and into the early minutes, I will take you through my South Central Region bracketology. Do my best ESPN March Madness Sports Center impression. But after the Lone Star Conference completed their semifinals last night, it looks like there's 7 teams vying for 6 positions. Ball loose. That was headed down by Sawagid into a dangerous area. It was cleared out then by the Ore Diggers, but UCCS right back. Another fun fact for UCCS this season, in this 19-0 run, the Mountain Lions have only been behind 34 minutes the entire season. And those 34 minutes were to these Ore Diggers up in Golden. Ore Diggers scored a 17th minute goal on a PK in that regular season match. They had the 1-0 lead until early in the second half when the Mountain Lions tied it, and then the Mountain Lions won it early in the second overtime. Once again, Mountain Lions try to drop it down over the back line, and the Ore Digger back line up to the task. Now that's Fisher who gets there first. The slide tackle from Tornabin doesn't work, and staying on it was Fisher, but then it goes over the crossbar. So that'll be a goal kick. So again, you can see balls coming to the near side have some extra steam on them with this ever-increasing crosswind we have here in Colorado Springs coming off of the Front Range. Getting there first was Kinsey. She put it right into Peterson, and for a moment the Ore Diggers had it, but give it right back up to the Mountain Lions. Muir touches it inside for Mills, and her first touch fails her, and it'll be a throw-in on the far sideline for the Ore Diggers. We hope you're enjoying this broadcast along the RMAC Sports Network. We remind you to catch all of your favorite RMAC teams on the RMAC Network, powered by Stretch Internet at rmacsports.tv. RMAC Network is also available for download on Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Roku, and Android TV. And once again, we'd like to thank the kind folks at UCCS Media Services. But meanwhile, Tanner Sanders has a chance. It goes off of the crossbar. It did not come down over the goal line. That was close. And now the referee blows the whistle. Is there going to be a discussion? We do have video review. Little did I know. The clock is stopped. Well, that's good to know that we have video review in this match. It is allowable in the NCAA. And what the official is looking for, if the deflection off of the crossbar had the whole of the ball over the whole of the goal line before it bounced back out, then that would be a goal. If any edge of the ball is touching any part of the goal line, then it remains in play. So that was kind of exciting. That's my first one in college soccer with the review symbol. And it is deemed no goal. We're going to have to find this one out. Was there a quality enough review that she could look at that it was a no goal, or the video wasn't there? Well, this is fun. Something I've never experienced before. Hopefully you enjoyed it along the line. And I'm sure those of you that had the better angle on it, our monitor down here at the press position or the broadcast position isn't working, so I couldn't see the replay. As that rocketed off of the underside of the crossbar. So a lot of excitement midway through the first half. But we are back to play. Brought near side again for Esterly. Esterly with a bit of space. So she starts seeing what her teammates will give her. And it wasn't much. That was broken up by the Orediggers. And the Orediggers have a quick 3-on-2 counter if they hurry. And that was Shin called for the foul, and it'll be a UCCS direct kick. Molly Swift, the freshman, takes it, chooses to go short to Samuels. Up to Muir. Muir pushes it inside for Mills. Mills continues the distribution. That was ahead for Fisher, broken up and taking a hard fall and a trip. That was Barnhart who took the hit. I think the referee is saying take your proper distance to the Mountain Lions. Barnhart drives it up the right flank, headed nicely. It's past the back line. Foot race, touch, it's loose. Hard fall. I think that was Shin who was in on the attack. No call in the box. The School of Mines fans that are closest to our broadcast position, obviously they want it. La Tourette can't get there. And now UCCS subs come in. For those of you that are somewhat new to the college game and getting interested this time of year, in the first half in the NCAA, there is no re-entry. So once you are subbed out in the first half, you cannot return. Everybody gets a clean slate starting the second half, and you are permitted one re-entry in the second half. Clock continues to run. Freshman Taya Schubert, one of the players back in for the Mountain Lions. She missed last weekend's first two rounds of the tournament with concussion protocol, and she is cleared. Shin complaining loudly in front of us. She thinks she is being muscled off of the ball illegally. She's not getting the call. Samuel steps out, and not sure if you could hear it, but we could. Her boot was clipped noticeably, so the call, and UCCS will get a direct kick from deep in their own end. Kinsey just chooses to go short. Mitzi Ramirez, number 21, now playing midfield for the Mountain Lions. She's a set play specialist for the UCCS squad. So in these final 18 minutes, should UCCS get a direct kick opportunity, it's likely you'll see Ramirez on the ball. Throw in for the Orediggers. Deep in their own end. A bit of pinball along the touchline. Quick restart for the Orediggers as they try to catch the Mountain Lions in transition. Shin with it on the far side. Tries to push it ahead. Can't connect, and then Kinsey just sends that back out into a neutral area. Caitlin Hinkle, another of the quality freshmen on this UCCS side, with the headband on the ball. Back to Kate Esterly. Esterly out to Davis. Davis makes the approach, keeps it on the ground for Zoe Sims. Sims dropped, no call. Ramirez distributes to the outside, broken up nicely by the Orediggers, and they just send it up the near touchline, coming right toward our broadcast table, and that goes out for a throw-in. Esterly takes the throw into Kinsey, no pressure. So Kinsey just easily able to settle that and continue to cross square for Samuels. Samuels back to Kinsey. Kinsey completes the rotation and back to Esterly near side. Now Esterly pushes it up. Cutting through is Schubert. Schubert will not get there before it goes out for the goal kick. So we are now in the 29th minute. Scoreless soccer here at Mountain Lions Stadium. 2019 RMAC Women's Championship. 0-0. And that was Lanham coming through trying to play the ball, but she ran through an Ordigger and center referee McCain. Actually, it looks like they're both smiling, so that sounds like that might have been a humorous exchange. I really don't think Lanham saw the Ordigger. She was playing the ball. And they blow the whistle. The ball was set a couple of yards too forward of where the foul was. So you have the officials doing a good job communicating with one another. Our assistant referees today, incidentally, are Andrea Jones and Lauren Parliament. And the fourth official today, Luke Wakefield, over by the substitution table. Foot race, Shin, Kinsey. Kinsey knocks it out, but on the touchline side of the flag, so it'll be a throw. Shin, throw-in specialist for the Ordiggers, so her throws will look a lot like corner kicks. So be ready for it. This will go well into the box. There's the throw. Popped up a little more than she wanted. Went off ahead, and you saw Molly Swift pick it off while the ball was over the goal line, not on net, but smart by Swift, did not concede a corner kick. And then she was able to bring it to the top of the 18 and distribute it. And you see the Ordiggers are retreating quickly every time there is a UCCS possession. They don't want to get caught in transition by this powerful squad that has scored 66 goals on the season. And now the Ordiggers trying to counter back, not enough runners. And that was Sawaged, and just like we said, she looks for those opportunities. She came all the way up. Good opportunity in for La Tourette, just a little bit too far for her outstretched boot. That was dangerous, and that's the one susceptibility that this Mountain Lions squad has. The attacking-minded offense, they put the back line into the attack often, and if they get caught with just two defenders and almost on cue, Peterson comes in, is knocked down by two players, no call. So considered a legal shoulder charge. She went down on her own. Zoe Sims gets there first for the Mountain Lions, pushes it to the back line, and now the distribution out to the left side to Muir. Muir is able to keep it in play. Challenge, far side. Zoe Sims gets there first, makes one touch through a defender. Now it comes to Mitzi Ramirez. Ramirez brings it across to Davis. Davis just sends it back to Esterly. Esterly into space. Now looks to distribute to the left side. That's not going to have enough angle. Mooney saw that coming all the way. And that could have been a case of the wind holding it up a bit, preventing it from going all the way across. Loose ball midfield. Schubert and the Mountain Lions have it again. But broken up by the Ordiggers, but right on to Lanham's foot. Muir to Sims. Sims, not a high quality touch, so that forced Muir to go to ground, and then the ball just harmlessly rolls back to Mooney and comes back into play for the Ordiggers. La Tourette there. She switches fields. No runners there, so Kinsey from the Mountain Lion backline carries through the circle up to Ramirez. Ramirez sends it to her backline again. Samuels with it, far side. That's settled at midfield. Nice turn, gets around traffic, but then just a weak shot. And Mooney able to collect that. Diggers head back the other way. La Tourette. It's broken up along the touchline. That was Turnabin and Davis on the challenge. Davis now with the ball for UCCS. To Ramirez. She keeps it going square across the field for Samuels. Drops it back to Kinsey. Kinsey all alone if the Diggers are able to get by. Ramirez comes back and gets it out to Esterly. Esterly now with about 10 yards of space. A retreating Digger squad gives her more space. Now she's able to distribute out to the right side, but that's going to be too far, too strong. Davis cannot get there, and it'll be a goal kick for the Diggers.
Exactly. Amy, I'm triggered over here. The center back doing scissors with no opposition.
We are in the 34th minute, scoreless here at Mountain Lions Stadium. RMAC championship match. Once again, coming up at halftime, Chris Graham, commissioner of the RMAC. And as we get ready to complete halftime and get into the early part of the second half, I'll walk you through the South Central Region bracketology and what you can possibly expect in the NCAA selection show coming up Monday evening, the 18th, with a lot of squads around the country tuned in to see if they get one of the coveted 56 spots in the D2 women's tournament. Now, Mountain Lions have plenty of white jerseys back, but Diggers are making a rush. And that is called over the goal line. A lot of players in front, and it'll be a goal kick for the Mountain Lions. The fans were breathlessly waiting for the flag, and once it was a goal kick, obviously a home match for the Mountain Lions, earning that right with the undefeated RMAC season. UCCS makes a couple of more substitutions. Nicolette Sandoval, another freshman among them, comes in, and she's on the ball right on cue. That's Brugman now. She normally gets a lot of touches. We haven't called her name a lot this first half. It'll be interesting to see the halftime stats and how the possession reads. Candidly, there have been a lot of loose balls, and that is clearly a foul, and such a solid foul. That is going to be a card or just another discussion. So that's with Caitlin Hinkle. And center referee McCain, as you can tell throughout this first half, as we are just under 10 minutes to play, has opted for discussions over cards. We'll see how that plays out in the second half. If cards start coming out. Sandoval, a couple of moves, maintains possession along the far touchline. Back in. UCCS has some space, but there's about 3 Digger jerseys there, and it goes out for the goal kick. Or actually the foul, it's going to be on the ground. So same effect as a goal kick. As we are in the 37th minute, scoreless, Mountain Lions Stadium. UCCS gets there first. Once again, the ball loose midfield. Sims misses on that, so the Diggers are able to collect it and start a counter. But you can see there's about 7 white jerseys back quickly. Shot from range, low, far post, and Swift saw that all the way and just lets it go out wide. But it was deflected by a Mountain Lion on the way through, so it will be a corner kick. The corner kick will be on the near corner, just about 20 yards away from our broadcast position. And no one from the Diggers was making their way, and now coming over to take it. Outside back, Mickey Hostetler, redshirt senior. Diggers have no one short, so this is going to be a pretty traditional goal or corner kick. Comes in, far post, hooking, headed away by Esterly, stays in play, chipped in, headed out by Ramirez. Challenge at the top of the 18, ball pops out. Comes right back on to Hostetler's left foot. And a goal! UCCS had their arms raised as offside. It was not there. And the breakthrough comes to Colorado School of Mines. A lot of traffic in front of us. We'll wait for the official call, but that goal comes in the 38th minute. And once again, Mines takes the lead and gets up on the Mountain Lions. UCCS continuing to talk to the referee about the offside. And full disclosure, I've been a longtime coach at competitive levels. One of my pet peeves is raising the arm. You got to keep playing. You never know. Do not stop and raise the arm. And who knows whether that influenced the call, and the UCCS bench obviously upset. That's far side from our position. UCCS bench gets the card, and I think specifically it was Cole Oren, one of the assistant coaches, with the card, obviously protesting a bit too much. UCCS bench definitely wanted the offside call. But you have to keep playing. Players play, officiate, officials officiate. So, for only the second time this season, the Mountain Lions trail in a match. And also for the second time this season, to the Diggers. So, in this 19-0 run by the Mountain Lions, the only team that has ever been ahead of them are this same Digger squad. So now the Mountain Lions have to find a way back in. They trailed 1-0 at halftime of the regular season match. Still 6.5 minutes to go here. Turnabin comes over and just sweeps that out of danger. For School of Mines against the Mountain Lions, the suggestion would be don't go into a defensive posture too early. That would allow the Mountain Lions too much opportunity to get on the front foot and keep the pressure on. So play like you've been playing. Be opportunistic, which is what resulted in the goal. It all started with a corner kick and not a clean clear after about 2 or 3 chances by the Mountain Lions. And we still haven't heard the call from the press box, so hopefully we'll give you the exact scoring line at halftime when we get the report. For those of you that may be tracking on rmacsports.org and tracking the stats, they may have already posted who got the goal. That's always an option for you. Challenge. Ball loose. Blue jerseys on it. And just push it ahead. That's well too far ahead of the runner. Swift comes over. Unable to keep it in play, so concedes a throw-in to the Diggers. It may have been wise to shield it and let it go out, but there's a case of what we were talking about where the UCCS squad, very attack-minded out of the back, with only one defender back there, Swift didn't want to get herself in a situation where she was out of goal and gave up possession. Ordiger shielded it nicely. Try to get the ball into La Tourette, but Esterly was there to break that up with the head, but Ordiger still on it. Good hesitation by Tornabin. Tornabin gets around Davis, now one-on-one with Esterly. Tornabin tries to take the goal line. Ball goes out, and the referee has called a PK. Foul on Esterly. Esterly down, writhing in pain. This is not a good sign for the RMAC first team defensive player. She was trying to shoulder the attacker out, went down hard. When we get back to play with 3 minutes and 52 seconds left, this is looking a lot like last year's finals. A goal and a PK. Esterly hurting. Mountain Lions all around with hands on their head. Esterly clearly one of the leaders on the back line. Now the Mountain Lions know they have to get back to business. They are huddling inside their own 18. Elliot Edwards, I don't know if she's been selected to take the PK. The way she's hovering around the penalty spot would indicate it might be hers to take, but we'll see. While the Mountain Lions are meeting and huddling inside their 18, the Ore Diggers make their way over to the touchline to get some hydration and some direction. When we get back to action, 3 minutes, 52 seconds left in the first half. Colorado School of Mines already up 1-0. Ready to take a PK to double the lead. And at last season's championship match, the Ore Diggers were up 2-0 at halftime. And it is, in fact, Edwards. And let's see, it does look like Esterly is very close to the goal line. She is not even a foot away from the goal line. Esterly started sitting up and then went back down. Can't really tell based on what the trainer is focusing on. And I don't want to speculate. And now goalkeeper coach Mike Archuleta comes over. Probably, what was it? One of the indications for those that have seen the replay, Esterly has had a couple of ACLs. Again, I don't want to speculate it's an ACL, but it does appear to be knee related. And we thank we have many folks on camera, and the one on the camera right by our broadcast position, Josh Garner, helping me out as they were able to see the replay in the truck and report out what it looked like. Getting ready. I think they're going to get a stretcher perhaps. Looks like the rescue carry is not going to work in this situation. And once again, the referee sends the players back to their respective sides. They need to clear the red shirt junior away from the goal line. That's a very dangerous position if they were to restart play. And I think, yeah, they're getting the cart. They're going to bring the cart over to take Esterly off the field. So you hate to see this in a championship match when one of your leaders and top players goes down. Obviously, injuries are part of the sport, and now assistant coach and goalkeeper coach Mike Archuleta takes off his stadium jacket and covers Esterly. Obviously, with as much pain as she's in, you have to also do the things to avoid shock. So the cart is over, and they will get the academic senior red shirt junior in. Esterly offers her hands to Archuleta, trainer, assistant coach Lindsay Balconi, all over to try to help her get up. They do the short 5-yard rescue carry to get Esterly onto the cart. Her teammates cheer her on. Obviously, it's going to be rough. Likely we won't see her again this match, and there's a good chance she could be out for the NCAAs. Referee talking to the coaches about what to do with the cart. So they will wait to restart play as the cart moves across the pitch. And shortly, we will get back to soccer. So here's the situation. Already 1-0, Colorado School of Mines. Number 10, Elliot Edwards for School of Mines. Ready to take the PK. 3:52 remaining in the half. Referee McCain on her whistle. Molly Swift. Elliot Edwards. Edwards approaches. Drills it to Swift's right, and so for the first time this season, UCCS has given up 2 goals in a match, both in the first half. So the number 1 team in the nation behind the number 16 team in the nation, Colorado School of Mines, 2-0. And now, not only do the Mountain Lions have to play from behind, they have to play from behind by a margin they've not experienced this season, and they will have to play from behind without their stalwart center back, Kate Esterly. So Edwards on the goal. Obviously unassisted, 42nd minute, so those goals just 4 minutes apart. So a 0-0 challenge suddenly turns into a 2-0 lead for the Ore Diggers. That briefly deflected as Sawaged tried to clear it, went off of a Mountain Lion, ball loose. Mooney comes out to sweep up the loose ball and then just distribute it with a throw out to the right side as the Ore Diggers try to counter. It goes out for a UCCS throw. Just under 3 minutes remain, first half. Ball popped up, player spinning around, couldn't find it in the air. Now it comes to Ore Digger feet. Change fields. Looking for La Tourette. That was broken up by Kendall Stevenson. Stevenson gets through one, tries to send it ahead to Jungi just onto the pitch. Jungi out to the left side to Schubert. Schubert gets the edge. Maybe that touch a bit too far as she tries to cross it, space closed. But it goes over the goal line, and it will be a corner kick for the Mountain Lions as we get ready to enter the 44th minute. Mitzi Ramirez, set play specialist, goes over to take this corner. Ramirez puts it toward far post. Mountain Lions also now with a height disadvantage with Esterly being out of the game. That was all Ore Digger heads on it. Jaden Davis runs it around, runs it down, I should say, near side. gets it to the goal line, tries to keep it in, goes out for the goal kick. Just under 90 seconds remaining, first half. Diggers. If this result holds, we'll get the automatic bid to the NCAAs. You'll hear the announcement soon as Edwards comes back 2-on-2 with the Diggers, now 3-on-4. Distributed out right side, just into the area. Samuels on the defense. That turn is by Zimmerman. Zimmerman drops it back, and now the Mountain Lions break out with 45 seconds remaining. Hinkle with it on the far side, tries to chip it ahead. Pushed into the box. Shot right on net. Mooney save, rebound. Mooney up to that task. UCCS another shot. Mooney, 3 consecutive saves. Living up to her billing as goalkeeper of the year in the RMAC. So, last minute fireworks here at Mountain Lions Stadium. UCCS desperately trying to get back into the match. And Mooney shows her pedigree and comes up. And there's the halftime horn. And after 45 minutes of play in this 2019 RMAC Women's Championship, your score, Colorado School of Mines 2, UCCS 0. Well, all of the fireworks started in the 38th minute. So let's tell you a little bit about what's coming up at halftime. We'll just do a quick review of the first half. We will take about a 5-minute timeout. And then Commissioner Chris Graham will make his way to our broadcast position, and we'll be back with you with around 10 minutes or so to go of halftime, and then, of course, bring you the exciting conclusion to this match in the second half. So in the 38th minute, after a corner kick and a lot of traffic in front, School of Mines came away with the opening goal. And then in the 42nd minute, a foul on Caitlin Esterly, which resulted in a PK and a Caitlin Esterly injury, and then the penalty kick by Elliot Edwards that puts School of Mines up by 2, and then in the last 30 seconds, 3 solid shots by the Mountain Lions right on net, and Shannon Mooney makes all 3 saves. So we will get ready to take a quick timeout. Once again, your halftime score, Colorado School of Mines 2, UCCS 0. You are watching the 2019 RMAC Women's Soccer Championship along the platforms of the RMAC Network, Everything Elevated.
Beat. the beat. the beat. Check this sound. The beat.
And welcome back to Mountain Lions Stadium. We are at halftime of the 2019 RMAC Women's Championship, where Colorado School of Mines, the number 2 seed, is on top of the number 1 team in the nation, the UCCS Mountain Lions, by a count of 2-0. The scoring in the first half: in the 38th minute, it was Cheney Brugman who came out of traffic to notch the first goal of the afternoon. And then on the PK in the 42nd minute, it was Elliot Edwards who put it away, and that's where we stand, 2-0. And obviously, Chris Graham unable to join us. We are a full house here at Mountain Lions Stadium. I did have a chance to talk to the UCCS athletic director at halftime. Parking at a premium all around the stadium. Full stands because of the importance of this game and the quality side that UCCS has put on the field this year as the number 1 team in the nation. But that distinction is at serious risk right now, being down by a pair of goals. And let's take the opportunity as the teams get to take the field for the second half to do a little bracketology. So, as members of the South Central region, the RMAC and the Lone Star Conference, they will receive 6 positions into the 56-team tournament. Today's winner will get the automatic bid. It is a near certainty from doing some of the math. Both squads will be in the NCAA tournament. The real question is who is going to get a chance to host, and is the quality of play today by the Ore Diggers enough to catapult them from the number 3 position, which would force them on the road, into a hosting position. Now, having something to say about that is Dallas Baptist. Dallas Baptist will be playing for the Lone Star Conference Championship tomorrow against St. Edwards. St. Edwards came into this week out of the mix in bracketology, but they may have put themselves right back into the hunt, especially if they're able to upset Dallas Baptist. Dallas Baptist has 2 draws and no losses on the season. So if the result here at Mountain Lions Stadium holds, the big question for the selection committee is UCCS's 1 loss better or worse than the 2 ties by Dallas Baptist if Dallas Baptist holds seed and winds up advancing. Now in my quick math, and already Mooney starting to do the gamesmanship just inside the first minute of the second half, the clock will be the friend of the Ore Diggers. Mooney with 3 saves in that first half, all 3 of them coming in the final 30 seconds as the Mountain Lions peppered the goal but couldn't get the breakthrough. And now UCCS in white heading left to right. And Lanham is called for the foul and then protested too much, and she earns the card. So in minute number 47, Kelsey Lanham issued a card. A spirited crowd here today at Mountain Lions Stadium as the Ore Diggers look for the upset. Already number 16 in the nation, looking to climb that ladder, but more importantly, seeing if they can earn a home match. So as we were talking a little bit about bracketology, by my math, and this is just me, I've not talked to anybody on the committee about this, just doing some of my own math after the Lone Star Conference results last night and playing out the various possibilities with the 4 teams remaining. I'm showing that School of Mines, UCCS, and Dallas Baptist are pretty much header toward the center, put on net, and Molly Swift able to clean that up. I show that School of Mines, UCCS, and Dallas Baptist are pretty much going to be locked into the numbers 1 through 3 positions. It's just going to be a matter of who gets the top 2. If Dallas Baptist holds seed and wins their match tomorrow, it's a near certainty they get one of the top seeds and will host the NCAAs next week. The Mountain Lions have a chance to be a 1 or 2 seed regardless of the result here because of their body of work being undefeated coming into this match. But I don't know to what effect the Esterly injury could have as you lose one of your top defenders, and also depending on how the Mountain Lions look. I would think, this is purely speculation, the Mountain Lions have to have a good show here in the second half against Mines to keep the possibility of a 1 or 2 seed. If the Ore Diggers continue to dominate as they have in the last 15 minutes of play, UCCS could find themselves dropping from a 1 to a 3 seed and be on the road. I also show Texas women's. They were the number 4 seed coming into the week, and this delay is waiting for a ball to come back into play. And now when we get back to action, it'll be a restart from just inside their defensive end by the Ore Diggers. I'm showing Texas women's pretty much locked in at the 4 seed regardless of the results, as UCCS pushes it out of touch, but a deflection, so they get the throw. And then the real challenge is going to be in the 5 and 6 seeds. It's Dixie State, St. Edwards, and Westminster. 2 of those 3 teams will be in the show. There's a trip coming out of traffic. No whistle, or if there was the whistle, we couldn't hear it, and it was a quick restart. Regardless, it's a UCCS possession as they come up the near side. Sanders gets the quick throw into Mills. Mills spins, taken off stride for a moment, now tries to set up the right. Broken up again. As you can see, the Ore Diggers getting a lot of bodies back to protect this 2-goal lead, and then Lanham just sends it out. No real threat there. So should St. Edwards pull the upset tomorrow, it would be either Dixie State or Westminster would be out of luck because St. Edwards would get the automatic bid, and Dallas Baptist has more than enough body of work this season to get into the regional. So an upset tomorrow by St. Edwards would hurt the cause of either Dixie State or Westminster. And if this particular result were to hold, UCCS defeated Westminster in the semifinal 1-0. So that would put them in 4th place if this result holds in the RMAC playoffs. So that would probably help Dixie State. Dixie State came into this week holding the 5 position, and it was Lubbock Christian and Westminster in a neck-and-neck tie. Lanham tries to get around traffic. She's shouldered away from it, and the Orediggers are able to clear that up. That's onto the foot of Brugman. Brugman distributes far side for La Tourette, and that's knocked out by Kinsey. But with Dixie State just barely ahead of Westminster, and then Westminster was ahead of Lubbock Christian. Lubbock Christian, with the loss, looks to possibly be out of the mix. And that shot goes well wide. So what you have is really Westminster, Dixie State, and St. Edwards vying for 2 out of those last 3 positions. So that's all coming up Monday night on the NCAA Selection Show, 6 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Mountain Time. And here at Mountain Lions Stadium, the crowd a bit quiet. UCCS, as we are into the 52nd minute, UCCS trails by a pair. And clearly the pace and the energy of this game has slowed down dramatically. And that is to the Orediggers' favor. We'd like to thank UCCS Media Services. We were able to get our monitor back at halftime. And once again, we'd like to not only thank all of those associated with the RMAC network, but also UCCS Media Services for the multi-camera setup today. Hopefully, if you've not visited Colorado Springs, the occasional shots when we're set up over here on the east side of the field, you get this wonderful view from the campus of University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, with Pikes Peak and the Front Range in the background. And I heard a little fun fact earlier today before the match that the views of the Front Range from UCCS, it is the most Instagrammed campus in the nation. Now, coming out of that scrum is Mitzi Ramirez. She brings it over near side for Taya Schupert. Schupert trying to bust up the near side. She was one-on-one with Hostetler. And then Schupert just puts it out of play. One of the interesting things that you see with this Oredigger backline, Nicole Barnhart, the exception, is the freshman on the left side, but a very experienced backline by the Orediggers, and a attacking line by the Mountain Lions, largely made up of freshmen. So you're seeing a lot of the benefit of experience from the Orediggers as that ball goes to the foot of Zimmerman. Zimmerman has a little bit of space if she can grab it. She tries to drop it ahead, but nobody was making the angled run through, and it just comes out to midfield, and Mills called for the foul. And UCCS is going to have to be careful just about every whistle. They're looking at the referee with arms up in the air. And they need possession and they need goals, and obviously the objective when you're behind, You have to have the lead first and then work your way back to level and see what happens from there. UCCS biggest challenge. Nice shot by Barnhart right on net. And there was a case of Swift was crashed into by her own player, but apparently somebody trailing also knocked into Swift, so the whistle, so UCCS gets the direct kick out of that. It's Brugman over on the far side with it. Sent ahead by the Mountain Lions. Getting there first was Swagid. Broken up briefly by Mills, but stays on the feet of Orediggers as they now go back. Jaden Davis with the ball, gets it to Schubert. Schubert drops back to Muir. Muir to Allie Samuels. She just sends a soft square pass out to Kinsey, who now tries to start it up, but that's broken up by Brugman. Brugman along the far touchline, challenged over there by Ramirez, and that'll be a UCCS throw. We are in the 57th minute, 2-0, Colorado School of Mines, looking to punch their ticket to the NCAA playoffs for the 12th consecutive season. You know, we talk a little bit about these two schools, and oftentimes you think of Colorado School of Mines as having been around for quite a while, and this would not be good. That's La Tourette, leading scorer for the Orediggers, holding her calf. Hopefully that's just a cramp and she'll come back. But you think of the Orediggers and the history of Colorado School of Mines, but they've only been playing women's soccer in D2 since 2005. The Mountain Lions started their sport in 2008. So only 3 years separate these two programs, but School of Mines, a much, much richer history. They've only had 2 losing seasons, and it was their first 2 seasons in 2005 and 6. And they've made the NCAA tournament every year since 2008. And they're looking to solidify themselves as the team of the decade as this decade comes to an end. Tanner Sanders, quick turn. Shannon Mooney calmly saw it coming, perfectly positioned, collects it. And she'll put it back into play for the Orediggers. Schubert just kicks that out and concedes a throw to the Orediggers. UCCS, with now 3 consecutive winning seasons in their 12th season. And in the first 9 seasons, they only had 3 winning seasons in the first 9. So under Sean Hudson, 3 consecutive winning seasons in a row, and she has already matched what UCCS was able to do the first 9. But those kind of records are not on her and her coaching staff and players' minds right now. They're trying to find a way to break through this Oredigger squad. Schubert challenged by Zimmerman. Schubert's able to stay with it enough to get the ball. Muir sends it in. Can't find Hopcroft in on the run as 3 Orediggers were back. And the Orediggers, nice triangle passing at midfield. And now Zimmerman breaks out, waits for runners to join. Ball is put in. Edwards knocked down. No whistle. Considered a fair shoulder charge. And Allie Samuels comes out of the pack with it. UCCS with numbers 4-on-3, 4-on-4. Sinead Hopcroft looking to get through 2, makes a turn, is knocked down inside the box, no call, much to the protestations of the UCCS bench and the fans here at Mountain Lions Stadium. They were hoping the turnabout was fair play, and another foul, a knockdown, and that foul is actually called on UCCS. Now the official has stopped the clock, is looking to go back. One of the ore diggers was down after that earlier shoulder-to-shoulder charge. She was slow to get up. And that's Elliot Edwards, who scored the goal on the PK. Seems to be favoring her left leg. She is most likely going to take a rest. No weight bearing on that at all. So when we get back into play, we are in the 60th minute. So Colorado School of Mines has been able to hold off the Mountain Lions for the first 15 minutes of this second half after conceding 3 quick shots at the end of the first half. Shannon Mooney up to the task on that. And even had the Mountain Lions scored, obviously that would have only cut the lead in half, but that would have changed momentum. Right now, I would tell you that those 3 saves in a row are the key to where we are right now. And now we're back into play as Barnhart puts it in. Coming up the far side, Ordigger lost her footing, and so that'll be a UCCS throw as we get a couple of subs. Kaylee Kennedy checks in as Zimmerman steps off the field. And Ella Fisher, the Summit Award winner for the RMAC in this tournament, comes back onto the field. UCCS now with the throw in front of their own bench. Brugman got a boot on it, then it's touched out by Ramirez, and that'll be a throw for the Ore Diggers. That comes into Edwards. Stayed out there. Edwards trying to make the turn one-on-one with Kinsey. Gets it to the top of the 18. Brugman can't control it, but trailing the play and taking the shot was Tornabin, I think that was, and now it comes back onto the feet of the Mountain Lions as they try to counter. But a wall of blue bodies, but Kelsey Lanham stays with it, runs through, slots it ahead for Sanders. Sanders one-on-one takes the shot. That's deflected off of Barnhart, and it'll go out for a corner kick near side. Sanders stays with it. 62nd minute. 2-0, Colorado School of Mines. Looking to claim their 8th title in the last 9 seasons and solidify themselves as the RMAC women's soccer team of the decade. That's really not an official award, but that sounds good, doesn't it? Shot, far post, high and wide. And once again, we will be watching right along with you on Monday night at the selection show. We may very well be back here broadcasting NCAA round 1 and 2 matches. And just for those of you that are relatively new, but let's see what materializes here first. Lanham first gets through Sawagid. The ball is loose. Sawagid gets in the way of it. Tanner Sanders tries to chip it over while being held by Sawagid. Not enough to earn a whistle. Out to Ramirez. Ramirez tries to make a move on top against Brugman. Drops it back, so Ore Diggers win that scrum. Even though they don't have possession, they put UCCS back to a neutral position. Now Mills comes in, crosses right along the goal line, and Mooney there to easily pick it up. But in the regional first round, the 4 and 5 seeds of the region travel to the number 1 seed. 4 and 5 seeds will play Friday. 1 seed gets the bye and plays the winner of 4-5 next Sunday. The number 2 seed hosts, and coming into their facility are the number 3 and 6 seeds. Foot race, Muir gets there first for the Mountain Lions. It's broken up by Hostetler, and Hostetler called for the foul as she goes down, and so UCCS will have a direct kick. 64th minute. It's all that stands between the Ore Diggers and an automatic bid, and will the effort here be enough to get them from the number 3 seed to a bye as the number 1 or 2 seed, and the path to the NCAA Super Regional will go through Golden, or might the path to the NCAA Super Regional go through Colorado Springs? Could St. Edwards upset Dallas Baptist tomorrow in the Lone Star Conference Final and possibly create a situation where both the Ore Diggers and the Mountain Lions host? Those are all the questions that will be answered in the selection show Monday evening, 6 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Mountain. We are now in the 65th minute. Caitlin Hinkle checks back in for the Mountain Lions, replacing Schubert. Hinkle, if not for having the Freshman of the Year, Tanner Sanders, as a teammate, would have broken the record for all-time scoring for freshmen. So quite a tandem. Mills, nice shot on goal. Laying out was Mooney to stop that one. Mooney, in my mind, the story today. The Mountain Lions are going to see if that powerhouse offense can come alive in these final 25 minutes. Slow to get up, Ella Fisher. She's back on her feet. When we get back to action, it'll be UCCS possession. Direct kick, Mitzi Ramirez. Dangerous angle, as we've mentioned a couple times. She's a set play specialist. She has scored from this distance this season. No one playing short, so the play is on. Referee McCain lines up. Ball toward the top of the 6, bounces free, loose, swept away, right over to our camera. UCCS with the throw, Tanner Sanders right in front of us. She goes ahead to Lanham. Lanham settles it, drop back for Sanders. Getting there first was Sano. Hit it off of her own player, but now the Ore Digger is able to send it up the touchline for a UCCS throw. Captain Elisa Muir with the throw-in. Sanders tries to get around Sano, does, pushes it over for Mills. Mills can't get through traffic, helicopter move, gets by one, tries to gain the edge, comes down right across the face of net, nobody there. Settled by the Mountain Lions, still in play, drop it to the top of the 18, shot weak, wide, near side. But it deflected on the way in, and so UCCS with another corner kick. Sanders goes over to take it. Minute number 67. Mountain Lions go short this time. Hopcroft with it along the goal line. And that just goes out for a UCCS throw. The Ore Diggers are conceding a lot of real estate, but they're in the bend not break mode at the moment. Sanders gets a deflection off of an Ore Digger and another UCCS throw. They've had the ball down here for the better part of the last 2-3 minutes, but they still don't have the breakthrough to have the lead. Cross in, plenty of blue jerseys there. And now another clock stoppage, and I think we have a bloody nose, maybe? That's Peterson. Peterson asked to step off. I'm guessing blood. Got to get that cleaned up before she can come back into the match. And when we get back to play, I'm pretty certain that was an offside call, so it'll be an indirect kick. The sub is completed. Nope, no arm up, so that was a foul. So a direct kick back into play. Midfield, loose. Brugman and Terrell just into the game over there on the ball, but UCCS comes away with it. That's broken up neatly by Tornabin. 22.5 minutes. We are exactly midway through the second half. Colorado School of Mines on the strength of 2 first-half goals with the 2-0 lead. That's into Brugman. Brugman tries to gain the touchline. Allie Samuels just comes over and knocks that out, and it'll be an Ore Digger throw. North end of the field. Sun not a factor this half, as you can most likely tell, as the cloud bank comes in. Possible precipitation. And our monitor just went out as the shot goes over the crossbar. We are in the 69th minute, 2-0, School of Mines on the verge of the upset of the number 1 team in the nation. But from a School of Mines perspective, not much of an upset at all. As we mentioned early on, they have never lost on this pitch. They are 7-0 here at Mountain Lions Stadium. Meanwhile, the Mountain Lions, having never lost a playoff game on this pitch, they're 5-0, so they're at risk of having that record come to an end. They're at the risk of having their winning streak coming to an end. They're at the risk of having their unbeaten streak come to an end. They're on a 21-game unbeaten streak, 19-game win streak. That's Sano who makes the move, left-footed shot right to the center of goal. Swift easily able to collect that as we're in the 70th minute now. Swift surveys ahead. Big bounce, Mills. Up with Turnabin, comes to the foot of Hinkle, back out to Mills. Mills with the shot, that's going to go just over the crossbar. 70th minute. Colorado School of Mines on the verge of making their claim for the 12th consecutive time to the NCAA tournament. Muir ready to take the kick, knocked off the ball by Higgins, and then Muir returns the favor with a shoulder of her own. No call on either. Subs come in. Kelsey Lanham checks off. Tanner Sanders checks out. As we've mentioned, you do get a re-entry in NCAA in the second half. So I'm sure Tanner Sanders is one of the leading scorers on this Mountain Lions squad. just a rest so that she can come back in for the last 10-12 minutes, as the Mountain Lions will be looking to put on a major push at the end of the match to try to send this game to extra time. That is going to be a tough task against this stout defense by the Ore Diggers. There was a knockdown in the box, no call. And that's the reason that a team like the Mountain Lions could get right back in this game. If that type of foul is called and you have a PK, suddenly the lead is in half, the momentum switches, and game on. Far side for Fisher. Fisher settles it, looks to make the move, goes into the box, drops it back neatly there to clean it up. Sano, I think. Yep, that was Sano who cleaned that up. Ella Fisher. So you're noticing this defense first philosophy of the Ore Diggers paying off. Every time it looks like the Mountain Lions might get through, another level of defender steps up. And the moniker of Kevin Fickus, defense wins championships. High-powered attacks get you highlights. Nice shot, solid. Mooney with the deflection off of the crossbar. So Mooney again steps up, crossbar helps her out, and UCCS stays down by a pair. Sinead Hopcroft for the Mountain Lions got her head on it first, and it goes out of touch for the throw-in. Hostetler to take the throw for the Ore Diggers. Hostetler tried to find Higgins, couldn't. Ball comes free. Hinkle climbs the ladder to drop the ball down, but Sawaged there to clean that up. Now Hopcroft tries to send it past the defender, but Sawaged there to trail. And Samuels now for the Mountain Lions tries to put it right back in, and that is broken up by Hostetler. Now the ball just loose in the defensive end for the Mountain Lions. The Ore Diggers content to not press. Ball forward to Hinkle. Even had she gotten through, there were two Ore Diggers there. And now Mines starts back with a counter of their own. That's Shin over on the far side. She gets through the first. Shot from distance will go well wide. Actually, it was a cross to Kennedy. Kennedy moves into the box, going one-on-one with Muir. Muir able to go to ground and knock it out, conceding the corner kick. So it'll be a Colorado School of Mines corner kick, as we are now in the 75th minute. Coming over to take it, Jordan Barnhart, as she typically does. And now a whistle. Fans, perhaps? The ball loose. So apparently the ball shagger's not able to get that back quick enough, so referee McCain not wanting time to be wasted, and not a real threat on that corner. No runners coming near post. Swift easily able to step over. Swift puts it far side. That was knocked out. UCCS making a couple of substitutions. Sinead Hopcroft to step off, the leading scorer for the Mountain Lions and the RMAC Player of the Year. Coaching staff will also take advantage of the re-entry opportunity to try to get her a quick rest and then back in for the final push to see if the Mountain Lions can cut this lead and then draw even. Ore Diggers seriously have something to say about that. Kinsey pushes it back to goalkeeper Swift and back out to Kinsey. Kinsey will try to start the attack on the far side. Up the touchline, sent into the center circle. Lanham got there first, and it deflected off of an Ordigger and out for a UCCS throw. 76th minute. UCCS running out of time. The Ordiggers, the clock can't run fast enough. Hinkle creates the turnover, has it, drops it back now for Sanders. Sanders brings it near side for Fisher. Fisher drops it ahead for the onrushing Muir. Muir crosses right along the top of the 6, and Sawagid there to clean that out. Sandoval keeps it in the attacking zone. Fisher, Muir, Sandoval. Too much of a crowd, 2 defenders. That's deflected by Hostetler, and now the Ordiggers momentarily had possession, kept in by Muir. Muir just puts it to the top of the 18. Trailing was Lanham, gets it ahead to Sanders. Higgins comes back, breaks that up nicely for the moment. Still UCCS possession. Muir ahead to Sandoval. Sandoval, Fisher. Fisher puts it toward the arc. Only blue jerseys there, and that's knocked away by Terrell. But right back on the ball are the Mountain Lions. Jaden Davis makes a move, keeps possession, loses it under herself. Able to still collect it, get it to Sanders. Sanders now just running square, looking to make a turn, tries to slot it through to Fisher. Hostetler was there, anticipated that, stuck the foot out to break it up, and now the Ordiggers come back and just try to clean it up, and I think the Mountain Lions called for the foul as Hostetler was pushed off the ball. She gets up a bit slow. School of Mines puts it back into play. Sano just sends it way ahead. Swift gets there first with no problem. Popped up midfield. Sano gets the header on it first, up to Kennedy, broken up by Muir. Now the ball comes near side. Elisa Muir with it, sends it up to Fisher. Fisher ahead to Sandoval. She's shouldered off the ball by Sawagid, counters the shoulder, and Sandoval gets it right back. Sandoval now steps out. Sawagid stayed on her. Now puts it out to Fisher. Fisher back to Muir. Muir takes a move, gets past Kennedy. Muir takes a shot, one hopper. Mooney easily able to collect that. As we are now in minute number 79. Colorado School of Mines on top, 2-0. And now subs from both sides.
Kicking in for the Ordiggers, number 15, Carolina Cinnamon, and number 16, Emma Peterson.
Savannah Mills back in for
Number 7, Savannah Mills.
the Mountain Lions. Mills, one of the starters. So I'm sure that was her rest as the coaching staff looks for the final push. Foul on the Mountain Lions, far side, right in front of the press box. Carolina Cedabeck is in for her first minutes of the match for the Ordiggers. She wears number 15. Stepping up, Barnhart to take the direct kick. Puts it right inside the 18, chipped forward, no threat there. Molly Swift distributes it near side for Sandoval. Sandoval pushes ahead. Savannah Mills with it. Mills tried to, and the foul called on Mills. And now, clock stoppage. Card coming up to the UCCS bench, I imagine. Let's see who gets this one. If it goes to Cole Oren, it would be his second one and followed by a red. So that's the second card of the match to the Mountain Lion bench. When we get back to play, we're just about to complete the 80th minute. Giselle Sawaged will put it into play as her squad tries to protect the 2-0 lead. Now referee McCain having a discussion with Savannah Mills, trying to explain the call. Mills, hand on hips as you can see, acknowledges the conversation. Now, whistle goes, clock runs. Final 10 minutes of regulation. UCCS, number 1 team in the nation, down by a pair. And here's something that UCCS has to be careful of. If you do a little gamesmanship with the placement of the ball, all you do is cost your team time. Just put it where the official tells you. Those couple extra feet aren't going to matter, but the seconds do. Lanham counters with a push, getting a bit physical. Brugman on the counter looking for Kennedy, but Muir is going to get there first. Leaves it for Swift, and then that's swept away. Now subs come in. A lot of excitement. Now Lanham having a discussion with referee McCain. All the while the clock is running while this sub is made. The clock will not stop until the final 5 minutes of School of Mines makes a singular sub. Mitzi Ramirez back into the game, and as we thought, La Tourette going out now for the final push to defend the lead. And another booking, much to the delight of the School of Mines fans here in Colorado Springs. When we get back to play, clock stopped with 8:55 remaining. Throwing it in, Hostetler. Savannah Mills tries to break through traffic. Now she's got some space and speed. One-on-one with Shin. Distributes it well before she encounters Shin. Back to Mills. Mills pushes forward. Shin clears that out of trouble to Brugman. Broken up along the touchline by Davis, but unable to keep it in play, and it'll be an Ordigger throw on the far side as we are in the 82nd minute. Last time UCCS was shut out, November 4th, 2018. The team that did it, Colorado School of Mines. Caitlin Hinkle gets past the first line of defense, but can't clear the second. That goes off of Davis. So it'll be interesting should this result hold, and it's looking to be a tougher and tougher task for the Mountain Lions. How will the Mountain Lions react when they get into the NCAA tournament? Ball comes forward to Savannah Mills. Can't maintain control, so the Ordiggers content to just put it back to the neutral area. Foul against School of Mines, so UCCS will be able to put it back into play. UCCS has not given up 2 goals all season. Now a little bit of confusion as Swift was way out of her net to put that into play. Now Swift has to retreat. A big long kick. This could be a Carly Lloyd moment. Nope, they don't take the opportunity. Sideback on it. Sideback going one-on-one, moves into the area. That goes out for a corner kick. So, 84th minute. Clock running. Ordiggers taking time off the clock, and they have the corner. And taking her time to go over to the corner, Emma Peterson. We invite you to stay tuned with us after this match as the championship trophy will be awarded and the all-tournament team will be named. Molly Swift easily able to get that off of the corner. Punts it out. First on it, Diggers. And Hostetler just kicks it back to Swift. Swift one-times it out to the far touchline. And now Sanders and the Mountain Lions try to start back. Muir with arm raised. It was deflected by the Diggers, and it'll be a throw as UCCS makes another sub. And as we predicted, Sinead Hopcroft done with her rest, trying to make the final push in the final 5.5 minutes of regulation. Muir with the throw in. That's broken up by Hostetler, and now we're going to get the foul. Clock stoppage. Mills was hit hard. I think when we come away from this for persistent infringement, we're going to get a card on Mills. She had the conversation with Mills, so that's a persistent infringement caution in the 85th minute. Was trying to listen to what Mills and the official were talking about. Mills comes out of that holding her face with a bit of a bang. Mountain Lions facing their first adversity of the season. The fans coming down from Golden getting on the Mountain Lions a bit. And we were talking before, we'll see how the Mountain Lions respond to adversity. Your mission to start the season to win a national championship, still doable. All you have to do is get a pass into the show. And that comes up Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Mountain Time, the NCAA Division II Women's Soccer Selection Show. The Diggers ready to punch their ticket with the automatic bid. They're just 5 minutes and 20 seconds away. As UCCS pushes number forward, counterattack, and that ball goes just wide. The fans were up. They were ready to celebrate the third goal. Swift sets the ball, puts it back into play quickly, and you may see more of those counters in these final 5 minutes as UCCS pushes numbers forward. Tanner Sanders tries to make the turn, can't. Settled by Ramirez. Ramirez back to Sanders. UCCS may have lost a lot more than this game as their junior red shirt leader on the back line, Kate Esterly, went down toward the end of the first half with looked to be a pretty severe injury, so may not see her the rest of 2019. Muir tries to break through, but Sawagid gets it right over to me. I'll call my own number. I've just bounced the ball to Fisher. Fisher to make the throw. Assist announcer. Ball pushed up the touchline. That'll go out. It'll be a UCCS throw, but they had so many numbers forward, they have to get bodies back, and that's just taking time up as we're in the 87th minute. The task looms ever larger for the Mountain Lions. The automatic bid, the upset of the number one team, and the claim for a number 1 or 2 seed in the South Central region, all in the offing here for the Diggers. Brugman just chips it out. It'll be a UCCS throw, but we're at 3 minutes, 15 seconds remaining. UCCS would need a lot to happen fast against this defense. La Tourette just sees that coming and heads it to space, and now the Mountain Lions push forward her numbers down. Allie Samuels able to shield it and get it back to her keeper. Swift sends it into the center circle to Sandoval. Her first touch, not there, so the ball is loose. It'll be UCCS possession, but deep in their own zone, 2:45 remaining. Allie Samuels over to collect it. Fisher, near side, pushes it ahead. Sawaget had position on that and starts to send it back for the Ore Diggers. Ramirez breaks that up, just pushes it toward the corner, but only blue jerseys there, and they will just allow the ball to walk itself out, take their time to collect it in the corner. Clock runs. 125 seconds. All that stands between the Ore Diggers and another trip to the NCAAs. So for both the Ore Diggers and the Mountain Lions, there will be a lot of people watching the selection show to know where they settle. Has this effort tonight been enough to keep the Mountain Lions in a 1 or 2 seed position? Or did the Ore Diggers dominate enough and a third goal could settle that question? But it's not there as it's broken up last minute. Midfield foul by the Mountain Lions. That's going to take up some more clock as we're in the final 75 seconds. It's going to be Ore Diggers going to the NCAA tournament via the automatic bid. They'll have to wait to see if they've done enough work to get a number 1 or 2 seed, because the selection committee is going to have a challenge. UCCS wins on the road in Golden. School of Mines wins on the road in the tournament. Are those even results? Or does an edge go to the Ore Diggers? The committee will have to sort that out. UCCS with 38 seconds. Last moment shot goes wide. Final 30 seconds. The Mines fans, they can feel it. This Cinderella season for the Mountain Lions, not over, but this will diminish a lot of the headlines. Final 10 seconds. You don't need me to tell you, you can hear it for yourself. And this 2019 RMAC Women's Soccer Championship is in the books. And once again, for the 8th time in the last 9 seasons, the RMAC Tournament champions are the Colorado School of Mines Ore Diggers. This afternoon, on the strength of 2 first-half goals, 38th minute, and then just a bit later, in the 42nd minute, via a penalty kick, and that is your margin of victory. Shannon Mooney, stood tall in net for the Ore Diggers. We're going to stay with you. We're going to have the announcement of the all-tournament team. I would be shocked if Mooney isn't in the all-tournament team. And there's a good chance that Mooney could get the MVP award. We'll see how all of the ballots come out. But Mooney stood tall, and as I mentioned earlier, I think that was the critical point of the game. You could say the foul by Esterly that caused her injury, and then the PK that gave the Ore Diggers the 2-0 lead, but 3 consecutive saves by Mooney at the end of the first half prevented the Mountain Lions from cutting the lead in half, and that would have switched the momentum, and then Mooney had a solid couple of saves in the second half. So Sinead Hopcroft, not sure if she's injured or just being comforted. And these Mountain Lions they are going to have to figure out a way to come back and realize that while all of these big headlines that have followed them since about the midway point of the season, those headlines will now diminish. Some of the media attention and the distraction will diminish. They're still going to go to the NCAA tournament. We just don't know what seed, and their body of work may have been good enough to keep them with the number 1 or 2 seed. A lot will depend tomorrow on what happens with Dallas Baptist, as they are the number 1 seed in the Lone Star Conference, and they will take on the number 2 seed St. Edwards in the Lone Star Conference Championship tomorrow. That squad gets the automatic bid to the NCAA. That's great. We're going to go to a bit of a replay package here. There's Tanner Sanders. There's one of the saves by Mooney. There's save number 1 in that first half flurry. Those were the first 2, and here comes number 3. And you also saw that she was stepped back. There's the layout. A 4th save. You can see that Mooney on that one save actually had to step into goal to keep it over the touchline, or over the goal line. And the table is being set up at midfield. Commissioner Chris Graham out there as the Ore Diggers are ready to be awarded the championship plaque for winning the 2019 RMAC Women's Soccer Championship on enemy turf. So the Mountain Lions are huddled up. I'm sure the coaching staff is trying to put things into some perspective very quickly. The Mountain Lions now go to 19-1-0 on the season. The only minutes that they've trailed all season have been to the Ore Diggers. They trailed for 34 minutes in Golden during the regular season match, then drew it level in the opening minutes of the second half. And we see that the signal is going over to the press box to get things underway as we get ready for the awards. Not sure how well you can hear the PA announcer with the wind in the crowd. I doubt very well, so we'll do our best to broadcast what we're seeing. We don't have any advance information on the all-tournament team, so we'll be trying to announce that along with the PA so that those of you along the lines with us, I'm sure in Europe and the UK with some connection, and here comes the announcement as we get ready for the awards.
From MSU Denver, Gabriella Gamboa.
Gabriella Gamboa from MSU Denver gets one of the non-finalist all-tournament team slots. And goalkeeper Hillary Wexler from Westminster gets another semi-finalist nod. Lindsay Tornabin named to the RMAC all-tournament team. Caitlin Hinkle, freshman for UCCS, also named to the all-tournament team. Hinkle had the game-winning goal against Westminster in that 1-0 win. So I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. Elliot Edwards named to the all-tournament team. Edwards had the PK that put the Ore Diggers up by a pair.
From UCCS, Savannah Mills.
Savannah Mills makes the all-tournament team. Mills had a pair of goals against CSU Pueblo, and in that 1-0 win over Westminster, she was the player that created the attack. She did not get an assist on the goal, but she was able to gain the edge and draw it back. La Tourette, not surprisingly, on the all-tournament team. La Tourette, she is the 4th all-time in goals and points for the Ore Diggers. She will end her career that way. The distance between number 4 and 3 is wide. Tanner Sanders, freshman of the year in the RMAC, also named to the all-tournament team for the Mountain Lions. And very shortly we will be coming up on the MVP. And based on who hasn't been mentioned yet, I think I know who it might be. Cheney Brugman. Well deserved. Brugman, part of the all-tournament team.
I know her! From UCCS, Elisa Muir!
And Elisa Muir, captain defender, and we didn't even get a chance to talk about the milestone that she passed early in the second half. She is now one of only 5 women in UCCS history with 5,000 minutes played, and she is the only player to ever accomplish that feat in just 3 seasons. And Giselle Salaged, also on the all-tournament team. And I can pretty much guarantee you now who our MVP is going to be. It's going to be goalkeeper Shannon Mooney. May have just heard from the stands.
RMAC Women's Soccer MVP is from Colorado School of Mines, Shannon.
And Shannon Mooney is in fact the tournament MVP, and well deserved. With her performance here today, she is one of the best of all time in the history of Ore Digger soccer. Second best career goals against average. And she will take her place in the record books, the rather extensive record books for the School of Mines. And she schooled her freshman counterpart, Molly Swift, in nets for UCCS. Swift came in with one of the best goals against average for a single season in the history of UCCS soccer. Freshman did not have a bad game. Can't really expect her to do much on the penalty kick. But Mooney clearly stood up to the task today. Those 5 saves that you saw in the replay package, all 5 quality saves, all 5 quality shots by the Mountain Lions. And now stepping out to midfield to collect the championship trophy for 2019, the Colorado School of Mines Ore Diggers. And they now come over with the championship trophy to their fans, and while they're doing that, we're going to take the opportunity to thank those from the RMAC and UCCS Media Services that helped bring you this exciting RMAC final this week. From the RMAC, we'd certainly like to thank Commissioner Chris Graham and Interim Director of Strategic Communications, Matt Guillo. From UCCS, we'd like to thank them for all of their hospitality in hosting this. Eric Mason, Sports Information Director. Sandy Mott, Senior Associate Athletic Director. Sarah Meyer, Associate Athletic Director. And Nate Gibson, the Executive in charge of Athletics for the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. And on behalf of UCCS Media Services, I'd like to thank those in the truck running things, Garrett Kicker and Angie Kinnett. Also in the truck today, Eric Carrillo, Tori Travis, Daniela Aguilar. And on the cameras for us, the guy right with me the whole game, Josh Garner. And also along the cameras on the touchline, Johan Berry, Andrew Bansel, and Joseph Vinson. We'd like to thank that entire squad for bringing you such a quality broadcast. We've enjoyed bringing you this all season long from UCCS Media Services. We thank the RMAC for putting this program together. Check the listings, check rmacsports.org, check the NCAA selection show. We could be right back here with you again on Friday should UCCS be able to get the number 1 or 2 seed, or Diggers likewise. So a lot of excitement around college soccer this time of year. We hope you've enjoyed it. This has been Doug Klein. I've enjoyed bringing it to you all afternoon long and all season long. And so once again, for the final time from Mountain Lion Stadium in the 2019 Women's Soccer Championship, Colorado School of Mines moves on to the NCAA tournament with a 2-0 win over UCCS. You have been watching the finals of the 2019 RMAC Women's Soccer Championship across the various platforms of the RMAC network. Everything elevated. Good afternoon, everyone.